Hey guys, welcome back to Actually Adultish. My name is Christina and I'm your host. I'm a holistic health coach living in Los Angeles. I'm the creator of the blog addictedtolovely.com, and I'm also the host of another podcast called Straight Up Paleo. So thanks again for joining in with me today. Right now, I'm super excited because, once again, I'm not alone. I am with my friend Les from The Balanced Berry, who has been on the podcast before a few times. She's returning, and I'm currently in Seattle with her. And we're in her little townhouse, and it's amazing, and it feels like fall. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here with you.
Hi guys, thanks for having me, Christina.
We're sharing a mic again, just so you know, so just bear with us. Okay, let's talk about what we did so far this weekend.
Yeah, we have done kind of the non-typical touristy stuff. I feel like basically Christina's been kind of just tagging along for like a normal weekend of my life. We had a really fun meetup at Bulletproof Coffee. If you guys aren't familiar with Bulletproof, it's Dave Asprey's brand, and they opened a Bulletproof coffee shop here in Seattle. So we went to that. We got to meet some really great followers. Kaylee Christina, who's also a fellow wellness influencer, met us there because she was in town, and that was really fun. And then we pretty much just spent the rest of the weekend exploring Seattle, eating, cooking, hitting up like every grocery store within a 5-mile radius of where we were. Yeah. And just had a really chill weekend.
Yeah, it was so nice. And I was just telling Les, I slept so much last night that I feel like I can't even function, but it's so great. And we also watched Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus, and I've been on cloud 9 because it actually feels like fall, and it was 5 million degrees in LA last week and I wanted to die. So, and we made this really good chicken tikka masala from the Defined dish. It was so delicious. I can't even handle it. So that was really fun, and I leave in a few hours. Oh my God, wow, a few hours, scary. But we wanted to record a podcast while we were together because why not? And I think today we're going to talk about some holiday things.
Yeah, just about how to stay healthy and balanced through the holidays, because I know it can be kind of a tricky time to balance maybe your health and wellness goals, or if you have like a special needs diet. Holiday foods aren't always the most conducive to that, and it's very easy to kind of get out of your bad habits. So we wanted to kind of share our thoughts on how to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's finally hitting everybody that the holidays are rapidly approaching because it's Halloween weekend right now, or I guess by the time this comes out, it'll be past Halloween. So yeah. And speaking of that, my holiday ebook with Kaylee Christina, who we saw this weekend, is out. So if you want to purchase it, you absolutely should. You can go to bit.ly/gratitude HHG to purchase it. You can also head to my website, addictedtolovely.com, or Kaylee's website, kayleechristina.com. You can get the ebook there. And I'm really excited about it because like the whole point of that holiday ebook was to make just Thanksgiving completely stress-free, but obviously you can use it for Christmas as well. But we have a ton of amazing Thanksgiving recipes in there. All the classics we made healthy. All the recipes are paleo. Most of it's vegan as well, except obviously things like turkey. But we wanted to make it as accessible to as many people as possible. You have a ton of different options in there. All the desserts are vegan and paleo. So they're all amazing. Lots of drinks, appetizers, sides, and we have a lot of other content besides just the recipes. We talk about how to handle digestion, what to do about exercise and movement. We have a Thanksgiving checklist, and just what else do we have? We have a turkey roasting chart and just all the things you'll ever need. So the point is to make it as stress-free as possible. You can get that ebook and just follow the instructions and you will be set to go, because I know the holidays can be a lot and overwhelming, and it just breaks it down. So a lot of good stuff in there. And if you want 20% off, use the code ActuallyAdultish at checkout and you'll get 20% off. So I hope you guys really like that ebook. The recipes are insane. I think my favorite is the gravy. That was just delicious. Also, one other update before we start getting into things. my program for the paleo diet for women starts, I think this will be tomorrow on the day that you're listening to it. It starts November 7th. So I'm so excited to get started. And if you haven't already signed up, I'm going to say sign up, see if it's still open, because it's going to be an amazing program. It's a 5-week program all about the paleo diet for women. And we're really going to get in depth about all the things you need to know about paleo and how it's different for women, how it benefits women. We're going to talk about macronutrients. We're going to talk about cooking and grocery shopping, all of those things. But we're also going to focus a lot on the top mistakes women make when they go paleo, but also just honestly in health and wellness in general, how to avoid those mistakes. And we're going to talk about a lot of lifestyle factors as well, just for overall healthy living, like exercise, movement, stress management, getting some sunshine, all of those things. And also going to do a whole module about balancing hormones with the paleo diet. So I know everybody has a lot of questions about balancing hormones. Les and I did an Instagram live yesterday, and a lot of these topics came up in the Instagram live. So I'm just excited to really go in depth about them in this program. And it's basically, the way it's formatted is 5 weekly live video trainings with me. So you basically get group coaching with me every week for 5 weeks, which is awesome. And you can ask me questions live on the call right there. And then you also get access to the private Facebook group where you can always have constant support, say anything you want, share things with other women who are in the program, and ask me more things. And then you'll get weekly PDFs and tips and tricks. You'll get little weekly assignments, all the things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you can't make a weekly call, then you'll get the replay. You can submit questions ahead of time or after for the next week. So it'll work out for everybody. And I'm just so excited. So if you want to sign up for that, you can go to the link in the show notes, or you can go to my website, addictedtolovely.com, and click on programs. You can also go to bit.ly/paleo women program and sign up there. So I'm really excited. If you've signed up, then can't wait to see you in our call tomorrow. Oh, and one more thing that Les and I were actually talking about yesterday: Beauty Counter holiday sets. You guys know I'm obsessed with Beauty Counter. So is Les. We're both consultants, and the holiday sets are on sale, and I highly recommend you stock up ASAP. And they just finally released the eye trios, which contain the liquid eyeliner, which we all know we need. So if you want some non-toxic, clean beauty liquid eyeliner, definitely pick those up. The Ultimate Nudes palette, I just cannot emphasize enough how great of a palette this is and how it's the best thing in existence. So highly recommend you grab that, because we don't know if they're gonna be in the permanent collection or not. Beauty Counter will release things over the holidays, and then sometimes they keep it in the collection, sometimes they take it away, so it's just limited edition, and they haven't told us yet which of those it is. So pick it up if you want it. And there's also just a ton of other gift sets. I think that getting somebody, for example, the mini facial oils or the 3 masks are some of the best presents you can get anybody, and everybody will love. So just do all your holiday shopping now. You can go to beautycounter.com/Christina Rice and check everything out. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. So yeah, you just ordered a bunch of stuff from Beauty Counter yesterday, didn't you?
I did. I got the Countermatch serum. At the time we're recording this, the Countermatch line has been released, which is really exciting. I love the moisturizer. So I got the serum, which I'm really excited for. I got the Nude Eye Trio because I want that liquid liner. I need it in my life. I got some concealer. Just so much good stuff. I'm so excited to get it.
Yes. I'm excited for everything. So much fun. Okay, so now that we kind of covered all the little holiday things, wow, I'm really getting in the holiday mood. It's really, really fast. It's at this point, it's going to be like in 2 weeks. So what do you usually do for Thanksgiving?
So I'm from the Seattle area, and pretty much my entire family is in the Seattle area, both sides. So usually we'll have kind of two Thanksgiving dinners. We'll do like an earlier Thanksgiving with my dad's side of the family, and then a later Thanksgiving that same day with my mom's side of the family. So it's like a lot of family, a lot of food, but it's always really fun. And my family is crazy and hilarious. So it's great.
Yeah, you have a big family, don't you?
I do. I have a lot of cousins on both sides, just a lot of cousins. Well, so my dad is one of 7 kids. He has 6 brothers and sisters. So on that side, I have like 30 first cousins.
Oh my God.
Legit. It's crazy. There's a lot of us. And not all 30 are like together on Thanksgiving. I mean, usually it's like kind of a smaller group, but a big family. And then on my mom's side of the family, I only have 4 first cousins. I think 4. Oops. I hope I'm not forgetting any of them. They're not listening, whatever. But my mom, my grandma is one of 7 kids. So my mom has like 30 first cousins. And so I have a bunch of second cousins, and almost everybody lives in the Pacific Northwest. So it's always a big, crazy, fun time.
That's insane. That sounds like so much fun, though. My dad's side of the family is kind of all over the country, and my mom's side is the one that's near us. So I've only ever had one side of the family together at once. This year, I'm not going home for Thanksgiving, actually. Addie from Chickpea in the city, who also has been on the podcast 800 times, is
with the best Tinder and Bumble date recaps. Yeah. The best.
Addie is coming to Los Angeles, and we're having Thanksgiving together, so that will be fun. And she better not try and go on a Bumble date while she's here, because she needs to pay
she should go on a Bumble date and have you be nearby eavesdropping.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Heck yeah, it's a good idea.
Oh, I could what if I
undercover nearby at like a table nearby?
Okay, yeah, and I'll bring my mic with me and I'll live record like what I'm thinking. Like watch, and I'll be like, he looks like this and she's doing this.
Please do that. That would be incredible.
We'll see what Addie thinks after she hears this. I'm not going to say anything about it to her until I'm going to make her listen to this episode first. Yeah, so this is fun, yeah. But I mean, I think the holidays they're a great time, but also can be stressful for a lot of people for many different reasons. And I think that I'm thinking in my head, we should sort of break this down by like food, fitness, and family. I feel like those are the 3 main things. Do you think that we're missing any?
No, I think that's perfect. The 3 Fs.
What? I mean, there could be 4. But what for you is like the most challenging part of the holidays, or what's your outlook on the holiday season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my view on the holidays has really evolved over time. I know in the past, I would let the holidays be kind of a slippery slope. I would spend Halloween weekend like going out and drinking a lot and eating a lot of candy. And then I'd be like, well, I already did that, and Thanksgiving is around the corner, so I'm just going to keep being unhealthy. And then Thanksgiving passes and I binge, and I'm like, oh, well, Christmas is here and I'm going to Christmas parties, so I'm just going to like eat cookies all the time until Christmas. And then by the time January comes, you just feel like absolute crap. I think as I've gotten older and as I've just learned more about my body and been a little bit more balanced, I've learned that like I can absolutely enjoy myself on those holidays. I'm really fortunate in the sense that I don't have any major health restrictions. I don't have any major dietary restrictions. I just have a lot of dietary preferences. So if I enjoy myself with kind of all the classic old-fashioned, not modified Thanksgiving foods, that's totally fine. But the next day I can just get back into my normal routine and I won't feel like crap. It's just about not letting it be a slippery slope.
Okay, well, speaking of that, I think a lot of people have different ideas of what they should do after the day directly after the holiday. I think that this is something important to talk about because I think I have a different perspective than a lot of other people, but I'm curious what you think about what should somebody do if they have a day, Thanksgiving or Christmas, where they feel like they just kind of went out of control, What do they do the next day? What do you think is the best way to get back on track?
Yeah, I think it's really important to not think, oh, maybe I overdid it on Christmas or I overdid it on Thanksgiving, so I'm just going to go jump into a juice cleanse, or I'm just going to like not eat for the day or do something really drastic, because I feel like if you do that, you're more than likely to have it backfire, and it's easier to slip into a cycle of binging. I honestly think, or I found personally, the best thing to do is to just get back into my normal routine. If I normally work out in the morning, get up and do my normal workout in the morning. If I normally have, a certain few things for breakfast, just get back into that normal routine and let your body bounce back. That way you also don't feel too fixated on it. I think when we try to bounce the other direction and get really extreme and be like, I'm gonna only drink juice for the day, or I'm not gonna eat today, that just creates obsession. And most of us, myself included, when we try that, it backfires.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just gonna make things worse if you try and like restrict the day after. Your body is just gonna go all out of whack. And I just think that the holidays bring up a lot of these extreme behaviors and compensatory behaviors, especially, even talking about the day of or the week before. I know a lot of people, I've seen people in my own life, they'll like eat less the whole week before, even the day of. Like they won't have breakfast in the morning because they want to have a big dinner. And I'm like, well, that's just going to make you eat even more at dinner and not feel good, or it's like people will exercise twice a day the week leading up to Thanksgiving, and it just bothers me.
Yeah, I just think it's unnecessary. Kind of like Christina said, if you don't eat at all the morning of Thanksgiving, let's go through two different scenarios. Scenario number one, it's Thanksgiving, you wake up, you don't eat anything. Say you have Thanksgiving dinner at like 3 p.m. By 3 p.m. you're starving and you just go hog wild all upon that pumpkin pie and you go crazy and can't control yourself. That's scenario A. Let's look at scenario B. Maybe you wake up, it's Thanksgiving, you have a sensible breakfast of like your normal, if that's like a breakfast salad, if it's a smoothie, whatever your normal breakfast is, so you feel satisfied through the afternoon. It comes to Thanksgiving dinner, you're able to enjoy like a sensible portion of some of your favorites. You're not overstuffed, you're not binging. You can still eat what's there, what you love, but in a normal amount. You don't feel out of control, and then you can move on after that. Like, which scenario sounds better?
Definitely the second. I think also some of this comes from Thanksgiving. There's a lot of food, right? But if you're generally a person who restricts in general, you're going to feel like this is the only day I get the chance to eat these foods. Whereas if you're somebody who doesn't restrict in general, you don't have that same pull. You can like, oh, I'll just have a serving of this, a serving of that, and you eat it and it's delicious and you're satisfied. But if you have this thing in your brain that, oh, I can only have this today, then you're going to feel like you want to eat it all today because it's your only chance. And then that goes into the binging. So it's also this general outlook on life where, you don't have to eat all the turkey today. Like you could, if there's leftover turkey, you could take it home and have some later this week. I think that plays a lot into it as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Another thing is that I don't really know why people have this in their head, but I'm like, it's one day. And let's say you do go hog wild crazy on Thanksgiving. Like it was one day. Like I don't know anybody who woke up the next morning and gained 500 pounds. Like it's just not possible. And that's like what people have in their heads is going to happen. And if you wake up the next morning and this kills me that people do this, but I know people will weigh themselves and they'll weigh more. And I'm like, it's probably water weight or whatever. And that just goes back to the whole thing of we fluctuate pounds every day. You can fluctuate 10, 15 pounds in a day, in a week. Like it's not, people get so fixated on that, and that has really no indication of health, but that's a whole other conversation. But it's just one day.
Our bodies are not bank accounts, right? So if you eat a big Thanksgiving meal and then the next day you decide, oh, I'm not going to eat, or I'm going to work out for 3 hours, that doesn't negate what you did. Like you already ate the food. It's in your body. It's a done deal. Move on. You can't undo it. Your body is going to use that food that you ate as fuel. move on.
Yeah. I think also another important thing is really being mindful in the moment. You know, I notice this a lot with family. Like when I'm eating with my family, it's like everybody's just eating just to eat, and people almost make you feel like if you're not just eating all the food with them, then you're not part of the celebration, you know?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, if you're someone who really prioritizes wellness and you have people in your life who don't, I think we've all experienced that can make other people feel uncomfortable. Like if you're making a healthy choice and you're around someone who isn't and they're really insecure about that, they're going to try and drag you into it, or they're going to try and make you feel bad. But at the end of the day, that's kind of their problem, and it's their journey to address, and it's not yours. And you can't also let anyone else make you feel bad about your choices, unless, of course, it's like a situation where maybe you are doing something disordered and they're genuinely trying to help. But like, if grandma's shoving a third slice of pumpkin pie down your throat, you know, and you're full, it's okay to be like, no, thank you, you know?
And I mean, I think that's something that, like, even not in the holidays, we all deal with. People do, but it's especially heightened during the holidays because people are especially insecure about their own choices. And if Aunt Susan just made a lot of unhealthy choices all night and she sees you making healthy choices, she's insecure, she's probably going to try and push that onto you and try and drag you down the hole with her, you know, just 5 more drinks, oh, you party pooper. It's a lot of egging on, you know, and it can be hard to be the oddball out, I guess, but you're not really, because there's so many of us who deal with that with our families. And I think also it's like, depending on your family, I know my general family does not eat the same way I do, and so I will feel like I'm just surrounded by people who just don't understand me, and I feel weird, and they sort of make you feel like you're doing something wrong, but you're not. I mean, I think also some things that can help are, for me, it's like I will always bring something healthy to contribute that everybody can enjoy. And I usually try to make it something like not too weird, you know, something like sweet potato casserole I'll always bring. I think tricks like that can help too.
Oh yeah, I always do Brussels sprouts, different forms of Brussels sprouts, like Thanksgiving for my family, and they all end up loving it. And it's something that I really enjoy eating that tastes really good, that doesn't make me feel like crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are always ways around it. Okay, let's talk about just like the whole general time period, not just the day. Because I just think the whole leading up to Thanksgiving, and especially after Thanksgiving through Christmas, is like, it's just a lot. There are so many holiday parties and so many events going on. And I mean, all I want to do is bake and eat hot cocoa and like sit on the couch and watch movies. And that's great. But how do we find balance in all of that? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm going to sound like a broken record at this point, but I think it's all about having a solid routine that you stick to. And of course, you can enjoy your holiday baking of cookies with your friends, or you can go to your ugly sweater parties at night and have fun with your friends. But still, during the day or during your normal day-to-day, keeping that solid routine. Even if you go to a cookie decorating party on Saturday, you know, Sunday through Friday right before that, or Sunday through Saturday right before that, you should still be doing your normal routine. That one cookie party on Saturday shouldn't throw off what you're doing for the rest of your week. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up.
Yeah. No, I agree. They get really fixated on that thing. I also think, honestly, like not going... The way I kind of do it is if there's a party or something, I'm going to go and enjoy myself, but I'm not going to go out of my way on a random Tuesday night to like make a cake and eat it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need it. Like, I use it on occasions when that's like fun, you know?
One of my other favorite things to do, and this, I've done this like at parties or even at the office if there's like treats and if I really want one, I'll have one, but I'll have it as I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Because if you have one, as soon as you get there, you're just going to like keep going for it, as to where it's like, oh, I'm going to have this cookie and then say bye to everybody and leave the rest of them there. Yeah. It's like, there you go. You had your treat. You had your fix. You're literally leaving. And the rest of them aren't going to be like staring you at the face. And you're not thinking, oh, I already had one cookie, so I may as well eat 5 more.
Yeah.
You know, that's like my favorite.
That's a really good tip. I didn't even think about that. I think the other thing we were talking about this before is like what the season is really about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, you know, Thanksgiving dinner is a huge cornerstone of the holiday, or for Christmas, those family traditions. But at the end of the day, really, these holidays are about gratitude. They're about giving. They're about grace. They're about celebrating family and celebrating loved ones. And so you can enjoy those meals, but those meals aren't everything. You're not getting together with your family because of turkey. You're getting together with your family to celebrate family and gratitude. And when that is your focus and the food is kind of like the cherry on top, it also becomes a lot easier to kind of keep that in balance.
Yeah. I want to share a little personal experience. For me, I used to struggle with that a lot. And for me, I felt like the food really just was what everything was about. It was all about the food. And a few years ago, I was on a candida diet during the holiday season. And when I had to go into that, I thought that was the end of the world. I literally thought I was like, this is going to be the worst Christmas ever. Like, I'm so upset. But that was the best experience I could have ever gone through, and I learned so much. And it was honestly the best holiday season I had ever had, and I learned how to make the holidays like amazing, and I learned that it wasn't about the food, and I spent so much more time focusing on other things, and that really changed the way I approach the holidays ever since that. I'm really glad that happened, because that holiday season, I didn't have a single bit. I did have some sugar. I cheated on Christmas. I had a small dessert, but like, I didn't care. But during that whole time, you know, it wasn't about baking every day, and I didn't have any hot chocolate, you know, and it's like, those things are all fun, but I realized I don't need them to feel like it's the holidays. And it was so much more satisfying of a season because I really was focused on the people around me and like other things like decorating and looking at lights. Yeah, music, like all of these other things. Yeah, the sweaters, like all these other things I was focusing on. And I felt so much like I felt free after I realized that it doesn't have to be about the food.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I've had some very similar experiences in recent years.
Yeah. So I just think I know a lot of people stress out about it, but you have to realize, like, I mean, why do you think it is that we tie so much to the food?
I mean, I think we do it in our everyday lives, right? We're raised, you know, if you're a kid and you do a good job in school, what do your parents do? They take you to go get ice cream. You know what I mean? Like, food is ingrained as a coping mechanism for good things and bad things in all of us from a very young age. And I think we have those elements throughout the year, but the holidays just really intensify it. And I think also because it's such a busy time, because the holidays can be really stressful between shopping and parties or maybe even if you don't have a lot of that, and maybe if you feel a little bit lonely in the holiday season, if you don't have like a big crazy family like I do, you could turn to food as like your way of coping with that. I mean, I just think those elements that are always with us get intensified during that time of year.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Also, you brought up something important about just how we're all really busy, especially busy. It's crazy because, I mean, I feel like we're all busy all year long, and then the holidays come and it's 5 million things to do. So what do you do to sort of make sure you stay on track with just like having time to cook yourself meals and the fitness, staying on track with your fitness routine? Like, what tips do you have?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm all about keeping things super, super simple and just making things so easy for myself. I mean, you guys may not know this. I am so lazy. I am so lazy naturally. I want to do the least amount of work as humanly possible in all areas of life. So I'm constantly thinking of like ways to simplify and create shortcuts for every single thing I do. And that doesn't mean that I don't work out or that I don't cook healthy meals for myself during busy times. It just means I am super simple with what I do. I think that the holidays are not necessarily the best time to try and completely overhaul everything you're doing. It's not the best time to like set a major weight loss goal or maybe something like that. But I do think it is a really good time to build those foundational habits, and maybe don't implement like some crazy fitness routine where you need to be in the gym for 2 hours a day. But if you can set a goal of like moving your body for 30 minutes most days of the week, the holidays is a perfect time to do that, because if you can fit it in during that crazy time of year, you can fit it in for the rest of the year.
Yeah. No, that's such a good point. And you have holiday sleigh going on, which is amazing. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah. So if you guys followed me over the summer, I did this 4-week challenge called the Summer Sleigh. That was super fun. It was just workouts and recipes and community. And a lot of my followers have asked me to do something similar again because they really wanted that motivation. And I thought the holidays would be the perfect time for it. So I have the Holiday Sleigh, which is going to be a challenge and fitness plan. So the workout plan will be released November 13th. You'll be able to get that on my blog, thebalanceberry.com. And it's going to be a 4-week workout plan with really effective but super simple 30-minute workouts that can be done at home or in the gym. No crazy equipment, just really efficient movement to still help you feel strong and amazing, but it's not going to take away from your life. So that's going to be available on my blog November 13th. And then November 28th, a group of us are going to be going through the workout plan together as part of the challenge. And in the challenge, I'll be sharing my favorite tips and tricks for making healthy living super simple, super easy. There will be check-ins, accountability, recipes. Just, it's going to be so much fun. So make sure you stay tuned to my blog, thebalanceberry.com, for more information when everything gets released.
Yeah, you guys sign up for that. I freaking was obsessed with Summer Sleigh. I love Les's workouts. If you guys don't know, she trained me for a while, and I love her workout style because it's like fast, hard, really makes me sore, but effective. But it's like, we don't have time to be in the gym for 500 hours, like real life. Come on. So definitely sign up. And I also think that this is another way to like make the holidays healthy, is doing participating in healthy habits as a group, as a community, because that's what the holiday season is so much about. So for example, you join a challenge like this and it makes it so much more fun because you're doing this with a group of women, right? You're not just by yourself, and you can even meet some new people. You know, you could sign up with your best friend and be like, let's do the workouts together. You can do a 2-in-1, hang out with your friend while you do a quick workout. That saves time too. Things like that, you know. And it's like, even, and the same with healthy living recipes. Like, you know, you maybe Les sends out a recipe and you go, oh, let's make this recipe tonight, you know, and you've hung out, you have that community aspect of like making dinner together with a friend. That's what the holidays are about. You can make a healthy dinner, decorate the tree, all of that, you know. That's how you incorporate all of it, and you don't have to sort of leave anything out, because I feel like so much of the holidays is really about focusing on, well, for me, I think a lot about my relationships during that time.
I completely agree. And I think it's a great time to bring people into healthier habits and to show them how simple and how easy it could be. And think about how amazing it would be to feel good come January. Yeah. Like, how great would that be?
And I want to talk about January, because January is like when everybody is like, okay, New Year's resolution, I'm going to work out every day and eat healthy and do all these. They're trying to overhaul their lives. And I'm like, okay, how crazy would it be if just all year round you lived healthy and then the holidays didn't just, quote, throw you off track? Like, I don't feel like that, and I feel like that would stress me out more, to feel like people get stressed out about the holidays because they think that everything's gonna be thrown off track, and I'm like, what if you just stayed on track?
Yeah, and I think a part of the reason why January gets that reputation or why people try to act so brand new come January is a couple of things. One, I think the fitness industry really preys on people's insecurities, and everything is like ramped up in January, and it makes you feel like if you're not trying a new diet or if you're not joining a new gym, you're doing something wrong. I think also part of it is like if you treat your body like crap from Halloween through New Year's, by January, your body is probably screaming uncle. And that's why you want to do all of these crazy things just to get some relief, because after 2 months of that, you're probably not feeling very good. The scale may have actually gone up in that amount of time. Now, it would take that amount of time, you know, from like Halloween through New Year's of like going crazy, not just Thanksgiving, but like a 2-month period. That might be happening, and your body might be really craving some healthier habits. So that's why it's so easy during that time to think, oh, I'm just going to overhaul my whole life. But if you take baby steps leading up to it, you'll never have to do a big overhaul.
Yeah, exactly. I also want to talk about the weight thing for a second, because this is my thing. I just think that every day in life you should do what is going to make you happy, right? And like really be mindful about what in this moment do I want as a human. And sometimes that means eating food even though you're not hungry. Like for me, it's like I want to eat the pumpkin pie, right? And I think that even sometimes when people say you gain weight over the holiday season, this is the thing. No one else notices. No one else cares. And
everyone else did.
Yeah, everyone else did. And it's like this is like life. Like we ebb and flow. Like it's, you know, like, okay, sometimes during the year you gain more weight. Sometimes you might be a lower weight. Like who cares? It really kills me that people are so fixated on that, I guess.
And I think we experienced this in our Instagram live yesterday, as we had some people just terrified of that, saying like, I really want to fix my metabolism, or I really want to take time off, or I really want to eat more food because I know it's good for me, but I'm terrified of gaining weight. And it's like, well, if you gain a little bit of weight, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You're not going to like lose your house and lose your job. Everyone in your life isn't going to leave you. Like literally, if you gain weight, you're probably the only one who knows you gained weight, because no one knows how much you weigh. No one else really cares. Yeah. And if your overall quality of life is improved, but you're a few pounds heavier, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Now, I think that is different than eating Christmas cookies every day for 2 months and having, you know, weight go up from that. But I just don't think it's something that we should be so fixated on. And I think that if you are doing those small daily habits to treat your body well, and you throw in some treats here and there, it's a non-issue.
I totally agree. And I mean, I think that you got to look at the big picture and treat it that way versus this is the cycle everybody gets in. They, during the holidays, just feel like what you're describing before. Oh, like from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas, they just think, oh, I messed up. I quote messed up yesterday, so I might as well just do it. And Thanksgiving's coming up, so I just might as well just keep it up. Like, and then they kind of go a little crazy through that whole holiday season, and then January comes and they think, okay, now I got to get back on track, and they do something super intense and just unsustainable. They try and work out for 2 hours every day, and they try and eat, you know, no sugar for 3 months, and then that's unsustainable, so then they give up, and then they feel horrible, and it's just this big cycle.
You know, it's the holidays again, and then we do it again.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I just think that the best way to do it is just to like every day make your best decisions, and like Les said, treats here and there, no big deal. Like, because you're overall just like living a balanced life. You know, that's like, if you're living a life where you feel like you can't have a treat here or there, or can't take days at a time off from working out, or things are gonna your life's gonna fall apart, then like I think you need to reassess, you know, like your daily habits.
Yeah. And I think too, something else that I've seen or that I've had a lot of questions about, or I see people make comments about, is feeling like food has this power over them, and like food has this control over them. And if you say stuff to yourself like, I can't control myself around nut butter, or sugar is the devil and it's out to get me, you're just giving that power. Like, yo, it's a jar of nut butter. Yeah. You are a living, breathing human. You're like way bigger than that nut butter. You have a brain. The nut butter doesn't. Like, you are in control. And if you tell yourself you're out of control, that's what's going to happen. But you're in control of what you do. A jar of nut butter or a plate of cookies doesn't control you. It's just food. It's just food. And when you have more of a relaxed approach to it, you don't obsess over it.
Yeah. Exactly. Or there are two aspects of that. I find that usually people who feel like that, either it's the mental thing and they're giving it too much power, or what they're doing is they're undernourishing their body throughout the day. So if you're not eating enough food throughout the day, healthy foods, lots of vegetables and nice proteins and healthy fats and all of these things, then you're going to be hungry, and that hunger is going to make you want these things that you feel like you can't control, So a lot of times when people just, it's both. A lot of times it's both, but it's like, make sure you're eating enough, because that also subconsciously happens a lot with people, especially during the holidays. They think, okay, I'm going to eat this smaller breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I'm like, that's just feeding the cycle.
That's the opposite of what you should be doing. You should be eating more nutrient-dense foods that can help you feel satisfied, so that when you get to the treats, you can still enjoy them, but you won't feel like you need as much of them.
I totally agree. Do you have any last food things? I kind of want to talk about family stuff. Talk about family. So, family. What's your family experience like on the day? Do family members ever give you a hard time?
Not really. I mean, I think it's kind of funny now that I've been doing this for so long. My family actually kind of gives me a hard time if I have a treat. It's like, oh, the balanced berry is eating a cookie. Oh, really? Yeah. You know what I mean? And they mean it in a funny way, not in a truly malicious way. But I have to be honest, kind of like I described, my family is so big. I don't think anyone really notices or cares about what other people are and aren't eating, because there's crazy kids running around screaming, and it's no one really cares what I'm eating or what I'm not eating.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about too, though, I feel like the holidays are when I see my family. Many of us see our family more than we usually do throughout the year. We all come together, and it's not just about food and stuff, but just the awkward questions. Oh. Who are you dating?
Why aren't you married?
Yeah, why aren't you married? When are you gonna have kids? Where's your boyfriend? What's your job? Is that a real job? Are you gonna go back to school? All of these really intense questions, and I just
it makes me want to run to a plate of cookies sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It can be super frustrating. I know. Do you have any tactics for when people talk? What is the question that you hate the most?
Questions that I hate the most. I think I'm in my late 20s, so I do get a lot of questions of when are you getting married? When are you having kids? Why don't you want kids? Where are you working now? Why'd you leave that job? And stuff like that. And for me, it's always, I'm kind of a smart ass, so I usually will have a smart ass reply, or I'll just be because I don't want to, or because I wanted to everything. But I also think I'm kind of a black sheep in my family, and I think they also just expect me to be weird and different. So at this point, I think they also are kind of over it.
Yeah. I think it's funny because I'll have a very different response depending on who's asking me the annoying question, because sometimes I know people are asking me just to be annoying.
Well, people are nosy too, right? Yeah. No one's as nosy as your great aunt, right?
And then sometimes I know people are genuinely wondering, and it's also, sometimes I get overwhelmed when it's, for example, family friends who haven't seen me in a long time, and they'll ask me a question. They'll be like, so what have you been doing? And I'm like, I just get overwhelmed because I'm like, what do I even say right now? Do you know what I'm like?
And then in situations like that, this is so not, you guys are going to be like, Les is a terrible person. No. I usually will either not lie about what I'm doing, but just lie with an excuse to get out of it. Oh, I have to go check on this, just to get away from it. Or I'll just have a really generic, basic answer just to shut people up.
What is it?
I don't know. Something stupid. It's oh, I'm just working.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, just like work. What have you been up to? Work.
And they'll be like, well, what do you do? Like,
I work.
yeah. It's like when your parents ask you, like, what did you learn at school today? You're like, I don't know.
Math.
Yeah, math. Like,
Very like one word answers, and then eventually they just give up. What you do, just make it awkward.
yeah.
Make people feel uncomfortable, and then they'll leave you alone every time.
Or ask them the same question back. I always try and like ask them. I'm like, I'll just be like, oh, I work in nutrition. What do you do? And then they'll say, and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. How does that work? Like, I don't ask like a question that doesn't even make sense. Like, how does that work? Because that's what people say to me. They're like, that doesn't really make sense to me. How does that work?
I know. I've had relatives be like, you don't have kids yet? I'm like, well, you have enough kids for both of us.
Yeah, shoot.
That shuts them up real quick.
Okay, what about like, they're like, are you dating anybody? Why is everybody so concerned about who everybody else is dating?
I have so many theories about this. I mean, I think part of it is just like, we all love gossip. I think people don't know what to talk about, and everyone is nosy and wants to hear about other people's love lives. I mean, that's why we read about like celebrities and who they're dating. Like, it just is like, it's mindless and it's fun to hear about. I think that there's also, and I'm about to get on my feminist soapbox for a second here. I think too, as a woman, you are way more likely to get those questions. Like my brother, my male cousins, they don't get asked, oh, are you seeing anybody? Oh, who are you dating? Oh, when are you going to settle down? But that expectation for women is like, well, if you're not married yet, what else are you doing? If you're not having a baby, what else are you doing? It's like, I'm doing a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. I'm doing really cool things, actually. And I've had to like also get sassy with family members and remind them of that. Of like, every time you see me, the first thing you don't need to ask about is who I'm dating. There's a lot more to me than who I am or am not dating. And just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that like settling down is my first priority.
Yeah. It's weird because I feel like so many people are just always trying to size each other up. Do you feel like that? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like really sad to me because I'm like, why are you trying to like size me up instead of this is sort of something that we touched on the other day on our live about who we surround ourselves with. It's really apparent to me. It makes me really appreciate my friends so much more because I don't surround myself with people who are competitive with me, and are trying to like tear down what I'm doing. And then when you're in situations like work parties or family holiday parties or like family friends, and people will say things to you and you just sort of realize, wow, this is not a person that, like, they're asking me this question to be competitive almost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think you'll find, unfortunately, that the further out you get from college, kind of the more prevalent that is, unfortunately. Yeah. Like, what kind of job do you have? How much money? And people don't ask questions like that outright, but they ask leading questions to try and reach up to that. Like, when people get jobs or get promoted or get engaged or start buying houses, all of those things, it can feel almost like a race to do those things. And it's unfortunate.
And we were talking about this the other night. I think it is so rude when people ask like things like, how many clients do you have? Like they're literally trying to calculate how much money someone's making, or like they'll say, how much money do you make off this? And I'm like, whoa.
How much money did you make in your last paycheck? Yeah, like, you don't want me asking you that. So.
Yeah, less than that. And I was like, wow, I'm going to start using that line. I'm going to start asking people, what was your last paycheck? Like, I don't tell you. Like, it's really, I don't know. And also, especially, I think it's also really weird when it's people you haven't seen in a long time. Sometimes in the holidays, I'll run into people who I went to like high school or middle school with. And like, it'll be like one of the first 5 questions. Like, how are you? What are you doing? Oh, how do you make money? Like, how much money are you making?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just rude and nosy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not into it.
Oh, man. The holidays are definitely a trip.
And also, it's like, it can be super hard if people are asking you uncomfortable questions or awkward things, but like, don't let that throw off how you feel about yourself. If you're doing the best you can in your daily life, like your cousin or your aunt or whoever asking you awkward questions shouldn't throw you off how you feel about yourself and the like amazing things about you and the amazing things that you do every day. They truly don't mean any harm. They really are just being nosy. And don't let that rock your confidence. Like, I know I have definitely struggled with that and, you know, still work through it. But it's always a reminder of like, you know, I'm doing the best I can every day. And they really are just curious and nosy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm wondering, what's your favorite part of the holidays?
Ooh, my favorite part of the holidays. I love Christmas music.
Yes.
Love Christmas music. I love like decorations, lights, the trees. I just love that there's kind of a different spirit in the air. People are out and about, but I think people are a little bit kinder. People are a little more generous. I think people are a little bit more kind-spirited. Yeah. And that's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I also think that one of the things that has been coming up a lot recently is about gifts in my world. I don't know if this is like, I don't think this is a thing for everybody, but there are some people in my life who just are really obsessed with the gift aspect, and I just like don't care about the presents. And I don't know what it's like in other families. Like, are other people like really fixated on like the gift part of it?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't feel like my family is as much. I think maybe when my brother and I were younger, my parents were very much into like just probably doing too much and trying to like get us gifts and make us happy. And now that we're both adults, it's definitely eased up. And I found that like I love giving gifts. And I don't usually give gifts to a ton of people. I will usually just do like my parents, my brother, and I have, you know, like some goddaughters, my best friend's kids, and I'll usually do little gifts for them. But I have found that I love just giving really thoughtful gifts so much more than receiving gifts. Yeah. And for me, that's more fun. But my family isn't super like obsessed or competitive over gifts or anything.
Yeah, I'm the same. I really like giving gifts. And I play this like game with myself of how like creative I can get. I think this is a thing, like I know a lot of people get insecure about what to give people, I feel like. And I think it's important for people to remember that it doesn't matter how much money. I deal with this a lot. I feel like all my friends with like husbands and boyfriends like stress out about what to get them, or like even like moms. I'm like, if you take the time, like usually the cheaper gifts like that are more thoughtful are worth way more to that person than a fancy watch, you know?
Yeah. My favorite, I mean, I pride myself on being a really good gift giver, but I love getting gifts for people that are like kind of random obscure things that they mentioned maybe months before. And like I always take mental notes of like, oh, she mentioned she liked XYZ, or like, oh, you know, last year I got my friend, there was like the show that he loved that was on Netflix and it got taken off of Netflix and he didn't know where to watch it. And I found like the full DVD set online and I gave him that, and he like, I mean, you would have thought I gave him $1 million. Like he was just so excited. Just things like that, like little things that you notice like people would be really into but that they wouldn't think to do for themselves. Yeah. I think are just the best gifts. And I love, 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 love remembering little things like that.
Yes, it's so funny to that. I'm the same way. I have this note on my phone that I keep year round, and anytime a friend mentions something, I think, oh, that would be a good gift, and I put it on there, and it's exactly what you said. It's usually something that they wouldn't, just anything that they wouldn't do for them, get for themselves.
Yeah, if they mention any little like problem or like little nagging annoying thing, and then if you see something that like would be the solution to that problem, like getting things like that are my favorite.
And if you do things like that, it's also usually helpful because I usually have most of my shopping done like way far in advance, because I'll pick things up like as I think that would be a good present, and then it's all done when it's time for holiday shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a Black Friday shopper?
No. Oh my God, no. I first of all, I am an online gift shopper. Actually, it's funny because I, before my current job, worked at Lululemon. And I, last year, worked in retail during the holiday season. And it's something that I was so out of touch with because I don't Black Friday shop. I don't even really go to like the mall during the holidays. But having to like work on Black Friday and having to work at the mall, and like when people are lined up at the mall at 6 a.m. on Black Friday, and it's like, what, like, why are you here? It blew my mind. It literally blew my mind.
Yeah, I've never gone Black Friday shopping. What was it like working that?
Honestly, at Lululemon, it was really fun because we had a really good 90s playlist and it was so busy. Like, I don't even really remember. I thought it was fun, but I thought all those people were like crazy.
Are the sales really that good?
I don't know. I'm only speaking from like Lululemon's perspective. I know that there was like a special line that they came out with specifically for Black Friday, and that there was just, it wasn't even that the things were like cheaper, but there was just way more of the cheaper stuff than there usually is. So like your chances of finding something on sale that you like is way greater than normal.
Okay, that makes more sense. I guess I never really understood Black Friday shopping because I thought like, unless I get there at 4 a.m., wouldn't it all be sold out? That's how it seemed.
Honestly, it's just like not worth the stress of like not being able to park and not, I don't know. I don't care enough.
I know. I don't really understand.
More for my sanity.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm like I don't care about Black Friday. I use Black Friday to decorate for Christmas and run around in my onesie. So,
this year I'm having so many onesie parties.
Yes, so many.
I got my unicorn onesie.
Yeah, let's go to unicorn
if you follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so great. Okay, anything else around the holidays that comes up for you that you think about?
Christina, what is your favorite Christmas carol?
Oh my god, like Christmas carol, like
Christmas song.
Oh my god, wait, that's stressful. Wait, let me pull up my iTunes. Hold on. Okay, I pulled up my iTunes because I actually have a whole Christmas iPod. Have I ever told you this? I have about 20 different playlists because one of the things I love to do during Christmas is make people Christmas CDs. I make different mixes. But I have a whole iPod and I really like the All Wrapped Up CD, which is like all of these like Disney stars singing Christmas songs. And I also love Mistletoe by Justin Bieber, even though it's a great song. His Christmas album is fantastic. But okay, obviously Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
That's a given.
Yeah, like
that's everyone's favorite.
It's amazing. But I love Please Come Home for Christmas by Jesse McCartney. So good. And Santa Baby, every single version, but according to this, my most listened to is the one by Ariana Grande. And also Michael Bublé, of course, his album. And
good mom.
Yeah, too. White Christmas.
You never know what to get your mom. Go with either Michael Bublé or Josh Groban.
Yeah, literally.
There's your Christmas tip.
Gosh. I actually think I have a Spotify playlist. Maybe I'll try and make it public. I am like, if I'm good at anything, it's Christmas. It's Christmas music. What's your favorite Christmas song?
Of course, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey is up there. I love the NSYNC Merry Christmas, like the Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. I also love Destiny's Child, 8th Day of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
On the 8th day of Christmas. That's also a really good one. Those are my main ones. Dick in a Box. Also a great Christmas song.
Yes, that is quality.
Those are my favorites.
Deck the Halls by the Ying Yang Twins.
Also so great.
Good.
Oh, so good.
Wait, you know what I want to talk about really quick before we wrap up is this is the issue, guys. It is not okay. It is not okay to bring out the Christmas things before Thanksgiving.
It's okay to bring them out before Halloween either.
No, it's absolutely not. It's not okay. Can you tell them about this house?
Yeah, so there's this house down the street from my house. I'm not exaggerating. Christina saw it while here. They've had their Christmas tree up since September.
Not okay.
September.
So bad.
Like, unacceptable.
Yeah, and I told you, Bed Bath & Beyond has had like Christmas decorations up for like 2 months now.
I'm overwhelmed. Like, this is what's giving everybody adrenal fatigue. People keep like doing these things so fast and we can't keep up.
It's too much. No, but it's like, no, because this is the thing. It makes Christmas time less special. You got to keep it to the Christmas holiday season.
Waters it down, you know?
Exactly.
You got to have that purified Black Friday to Christmas time.
I'm just a big believer in focusing on the holiday that's immediate. If you're too busy dealing with Christmas music before Thanksgiving, then how are you going to really focus on Thanksgiving?
It's just not special anymore.
It's not special. And then that makes, and also you're going to get sick of the Christmas music because if you start early, and the Christmas movies, when networks start playing the movies ahead of time, it grinds my gears.
Only the day after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Only acceptable time.
Okay, I have to tell you, I do cheat though because this is the issue. Do you know what the tree lighting is at the Grove in LA? Have you seen that? Yeah, that's the one thing I will cheat on because I don't.
To that.
Oh, really?
Years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like an incredible event, and I don't get to choose the date. Yeah. And I understand why they do it in November because nobody would come in December. Yeah. So that's the one cheat that I'll give you.
Fair. It's not September in your living room.
Exactly. So that's the only time. And did I ever tell you that I went to the Michael Bublé live Christmas special?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember watching that on TV.
I was in the audience, so it was real. So cool. Well, that's about all I have to say about that. Wow, I'm like really excited for the holidays now.
Yeah, I'm really excited too.
And we haven't even. Are we like bad if we're? Is it bad to do Thanksgiving things before Halloween?
No, I don't think so, because I think that falls under the fall umbrella, right? Like, everyone's been drinking pumpkin spice since September, but pumpkin pie is really a Thanksgiving thing. So I think that's under the general fall umbrella.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, is the pumpkin obsession Halloween, or is it?
I think it's kind of both.
Yeah.
Because what was the OG pumpkin spice was pumpkin pie, and that's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
When people start doing it in August, you're doing too much.
Yeah. I totally agree. So, yeah, hopefully you guys got some good fall holiday vibes from this one. I'm feeling spicy, festive.
I'm feeling in the holiday spirit, for sure.
So, thanks for joining in. Hopefully, this little discussion on the holidays helped you out a little bit, made you feel less alone. I think a lot of these things, it's not even like solutions, but just like talking about it, like you're not the only one who feels like all of these things. There's lots of feelings during this time.
Yeah, it's so common. We've all been there, and it's something we all still work through. I'm not perfect, you know. We're all getting there.
Yeah. And I mean, our whole lives, it's not going to go away. You're always going to have family dynamics, always friend dynamics, always feel busy and overwhelmed. Like, that's just life. So it's just like taking it one day at a time, I think. So.
Exactly. Just do the best you can and move on.
Totally. So, Les, why don't you remind everyone again where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at balancedberry, and then my blog is thebalancedberry.com.
And they sign up for a holiday sleigh. Can they sign up now?
Yep. So you can sign up for the waiting list for the holiday sleigh right now. If you go to thebalancedberry.com, you can sign up there, and then you will get first dibs on the workout plan when I release it in November.
Woohoo! I can't wait because I love me some holiday sleigh workouts. And I don't know if you guys get it, but it's like a pun, like a holiday sleigh. Like sleigh, like SLAY, or like a holiday sleigh. So I'm really into it. So thanks. Yeah. And make sure you check out my holiday ebook, Gratitude, a healthy holiday guide.
Have to check out, like, literally, first of all, it's beautiful. But Christina and Kaylee have literally, it's so thorough that every scenario for the holidays that you need addressed, like, they have touched on, they have walked you through how to handle it.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, we tried to really be thorough in that. So, and the recipes, again, they're amazing, and they're Thanksgiving recipes, but obviously you could use them for Christmas or any other time. And if you have ever made a recipe from my blog, I take great pride in my recipes. So I hope you enjoy them. So yeah, you can go to my website, addictedtolovely.com, or bit.ly/gratitude HHG, because it's called Gratitude. So you can go there to pick up your copy and use the code actually adultish, and you'll get 20% off. And I think that's pretty much it for this week. I want to say thank you again for joining in. If you haven't already, join the Facebook group, Actually Adultish Podcast Nation. It's the best. And leave a rating and a review on iTunes. Subscribe. Let me know what you want to hear on the podcast next. I love hearing your suggestions, so send those in. So we are going to go off and do a TRX workout because Les is going to show me the TRX. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and we'll post it too, so that you guys can see what we do.
Ooh, lucky you. Yeah. So you can copy. So I'm excited. Gonna do some booty work. No, I'm just kidding, but not really. All right, so we'll talk to you again next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.